Good morning, Professor Usha. Good morning.
Madam, audio.
Mute ಮಾಡಿ madam.
We can't hear you.
Madam, audio.
Okay, now?
Okay. Okay, madam. Okay,
Yes.
madam.
Ma'am, video mode, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yardu?
Yeah, we
Madam.
can-
Anandi, madam.
Okay. She's there.
Anand
Is
is there.
there?
Can see
Yes,
her.
ma'am.
Okay.
We all can see you, Professor Usha.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
can see.
Nagraj sir is there, Sunita is there.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, madam.
Good morning, Prakash ಇರ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಯಾರು?
DPN ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಪರಮೇಶ್ ನಾಯ್ಕು.
ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾರು? ಐಸಾ ಅಲಕ್ನಂದ, ಐಸಾ ನಾಗರಾಜ್, I can see Anita. Shakti is there. ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ, ನಿರಂಜನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ? ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರಾ? Okay. So that side is all right.
Okay. Start, madam.
Shall we?
Yeah, start.
Okay.
They will join.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಅವರು? ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವರು ರೆಡಿನಾ ಅಂತ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅಂಡ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ಶಕ್ತಿ and ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ. ರವಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ರವಿಕುಮಾರ್.
Not yet, madam. Shakti. Okay, is there.
Okay.
Start, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Start.
Okay. A very happy morning to one and all. I welcome you all for the 5th day of the International Web Conference on Climate Change and Impacts on Environment and Biodiversity. So we have reached a landmark and a day before the closing of the web conference. We have got an overwhelming response from the participants across the country, and we are privileged and happy to host this web conference, which is a big success in its own way. Today's theme of the session is public health and environment. Public health is one of the most important parameters for survival of the mankind. WHO has estimated that 12.6 million deaths each year are attributed to unhealthy environment. That is, nearly 1 in 4 of total global deaths occur due to unhealthy environment. Environmental risk factors such as air, water and soil chemical exposures, climate change, ultraviolet radiations has contributed to more than 100 diseases and injuries. Therefore, we understand how important it becomes for us to maintain a healthy environment to have a healthy population. So we have today the researchers, young and old, to present their small piece of research work who have strived for better public health. And to guide and give them the positive critics, we have with us 2 chairpersons and the rapporteurs. Today, I am happy to announce that we have amongst us a very down-to-earth personality, a hardcore academician with us as a chairperson to chair the today's session. I would like to introduce you all to Dr. Usha Anandi. Dr. Usha Anandi has completed her PhD in Bangalore University during the year 1998, a way long back, joined in the Department of Zoology as a lecturer and became a professor of zoology during the year 2013. At present, she is heading the Department of Zoology, Center for Applied Genetics and Forensic Sciences. Teaching experience of 22 years in the field of reproductive biology, toxicology, environmental biology. She has guided 9 PhD and published 45 research articles in national and international journals. She has received the Best Paper Presentation Award in 2000 World at National Level Conference on Fish and Their Environment for Scientific Achievements. She has attended and presented research findings in national and international conferences and symposiums. She is a Fellow of Zoological Society of India, visited University of Bonn, University of Manchester, Scotland and Amsterdam as well. She is a member in many scientific academic bodies. I welcome you, madam, for the today's session.
Thank you very much, ma.
I welcome our chairperson and convener of the conference, Professor Nandini Madam. Now we have all understood how Madam is meticulous with her work and keeps her and all others' energy levels all the time high. I welcome you, Madam, for the session.
Thank you, Alakananda.
We have the
Yeah, go ahead.
rapporteurs for the day. We have Dr. N. Sunita, Faculty, Department of Environmental Science. And now to start with, I would request Madam to throw some light on today's theme, that is environment and public health.
Thank you, Alakananda. Good morning, Professor Usha Anandi Madam, Chair of the today's session. Good morning, Professor Nandini Madam, Chairperson of the Department of Environmental Science and convener of the conference. Good morning to my colleagues, delegates, scholars, and students. So today's conference theme is environment and public health. Environmental health is a branch of public health which focuses on the relationships between people and their environment, promotes human health and well-being, and foster healthy and safe communities. Environmental health is concerned with all aspects of the natural and built environment that affect the human health. It typically involves air quality, water quality, hazardous and solid waste management, and radiation safety, issue of pollution of aquifers, untreated sewages disposal, ocean dumping, effects of air pollutants, which are more harmful to human health. Also, it includes the effects of natural disasters like floods, droughts, earthquakes, etc., and techno disaster effects, example like Bhopal gas tragedy or the nuclear disasters, climate changes, and its effect on human health. Public health is more broad as it involves issues such as flu, epidemics, vaccination programs, pandemics, food safety, health care of the patients and community. Public health is also about making the masses healthier. Public health deals issues like well-being of mother before and after delivery and that of the baby, infections transmitted as a result of unsafe practices like hepatitis B and C, unsafe sexually transmitted infections of HIVs. Public health also includes mental health, drug addiction, medication management, nutrition, and physical activities. Public health is defined as a science of protecting the safety and improving the health of communities through education, policy making, and research for diseases and injury prevention. Pillars of public health are epidemiology, which includes the pandemics like smallpox, plague, swine flu, Ebola, and the present one, the corona, that is our COVID-19, health administration, biostatistics of public health that has significant correlates with environmental health, which is about health and well-being of all other organisms, plants and animals. Public health also links to occupational health. And in the context today, on this theme, we have our researchers who are going to present their research findings on various issues of the linkages. Now I request our chair of the session, Professor Usha Anandi Madam, to kindly proceed with the paper presentations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Dr. Nandini,
Good morning.
Nagaraj, Sunita.
Good morning.
I
Thank you,
am
ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
welcome all the delegates for this conference of International Web Conference of Climate Change, Impact of Environment and Biodiversity. Today, this is the first time we are conducting, I think it's very proud of Dr. Nandini. That is the first time she is conducting the international conference in WebEx, okay, the web conference. So I think it will be very much useful for all the people. If she'll be conducting in the department also, I think most of the people, they won't attend because now all because of the COVID-19, all people, they're staying at home. They are very easy. They can attend the conference and make the conference successful. And I wish you all the best for the delegates to present their paper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for those words of wisdom. We have second rapporteur with us, Dr. Raghavendra, and the third rapporteur, Mrs. Shilpa Shri. So I welcome you all, the professors of the department and all the delegates and participants for the 5th day of the International Web Conference. I welcome you all. To start with, we have for the first presentation today, Dr. Rajeshwari R. from Department of Electronic Media, Bangalore University, Bangalore. She will be presenting the paper on role of mass media in promoting environment protection activities and related public mobilization. Over to you, Dr. Rajeshwari.
Thank you very much. Good morning, one and all present here. And today it is a joint paper with my colleague Dr. Wahini. She is also assistant coordinator and assistant professor of Department of Electronic Media. She is also with us. She also will be presenting with me. And the title of the paper is Role of Mass Media in Promoting Environment Protection Activities and Related Public Mobilization. So background of the paper, as we all know, mass media are used as an environment tool. That is, it is used as a tool to facilitate and encourage the participation of people in environmental activities. And environmental communication ideally reflects the environment protection issues and promotes changes on a small to large scale now and in the future with short or long-term effects. So since a decade, environmental issues have gained media attention. Due to this, society is becoming more aware of the cause and effect. So environment movements are gaining momentum day by day to preserve the earth worldwide. Global media channels reach nearly 1.5 billion people across the world, which shows the tremendous potential of mass media as an opinion leader. So our study area is to present to focus on the role of media in popularizing environmental movements and its related impact. And the specific objectives of the study are to know the media's environmental reporting patterns and its impact on public, and to find out various methods to popularize the environment movement, and to explore different media platforms utilization for creating awareness and fight for the cause. And methodology used in this study is, it is a quantitative in nature, used a survey method with questionnaire to collect primary data from general public, and the purposive sampling method is applied to select 100 respondents, as the respondents were required to be the reader of or viewers of environment related issues, and respondents were spread across Bangalore rural and urban districts. The TV9 Kannada news channels Kollavedi Keregala and Rally for River and Kaveri Calling is taken for the study to know the media content presentation on those issues and use of different media platforms to popularize the public movements. And Wake the Lake campaign initiatives by NGOs and BBMP to revive the Bangalore lakes also considered to know the public awareness about the initiatives. And the interviews were conducted among 5 environmental activists and journalists. Thus, we can say triangulation of research tool is used to ensure the validity of the primary data, and the data, the results of the study is like this. And as I said, samples were drawn from different age categories from 22 years to 60 years. Among 100 respondents, there were 88 males and 22 females. There are no significant influences of demographic characteristics of respondents on the responses. We can say that is the important finding I'm concentrating on. Among respondents, 56 depends on television and newspaper for daily news. 20 of them depends on newspaper, only newspaper, and 22 depends on internet along with television, and only 2 used radio with television. It is found that majority of the respondents use the television to access news regularly. This is the media habit of the respondents. And all of the respondents, that is 100%, they are accessed environmental related issues like Rally for River, Bangalore lakes, pollution related news, Save Trees related campaign, protest against cutting of trees in the name of road extension, tree transplantation, garbage management or waste management, etc. So they have received these kind of news through the media. 100% of the respondents received these kind of news on media, and about 70% of the respondents watched this news on television, and 16% read this in on newspaper, and only 10% received it from new media such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and on the and other online platforms. And respondents received environmental related information in different patterns. So we asked them in which pattern they have received this environmental related information. So most of the respondents, that is 40%, said they received through television discussion. So they were aware of the environmental related issues through the television discussion. 34% said they received this information through special programs, and 24 from news reports, that is reading news reports or viewing or listening to radio news reports, and 60% through columns, and 14% from features. It is found that television panel discussion and special programs have given more insight to environmental issues. That is the important finding of this study. And after reading or watching or receiving the environmental related information from different media, equal number of the respondents, that is 40%, made changes in their individual behavior towards environmental conservation and felt bad about the state of affairs. So 30% of them said environmental news also created awareness, and only 26% of them answered that they got more information about the issue. And the respondents shared environmental related issues with the family members. After watching, only 24% of the respondents shared the environmental related issues with the family members, and with their friends and colleagues. They shared 64% of them shared with their friends and colleagues, and about 12% did not, only 12% did not share that information with anyone. They just read and watched and viewed, and the message they did not share with anyone. And among all respondents, 54% of them felt that media is giving enough of environmental related information. Only 28% thought media is not concentrating more on environmental related issues, and 18% of them reacted that they are unaware whether media is giving extensive coverage or to environmental issues or not. They are not bothered about media's action related to environmental issues. And the leading Kannada news channel, TV9, conducted, the case study I'm taking now, conducted the campaign against the denotification of 1,500 lakes in Karnataka in the name of Kollabeddi Keregala in August 2017. And TV9 news channel broadcasted series of special programs on dry lakes with many scientific inputs, such as how lake denotification adversely affect the life of the people and environmental balance significantly. It had also enumerated the support of many walks of life. It had received thousands of letters from the general public, political leaders, environmental activists, writers, sports personalities, and cinema actors supporting the campaign. And several people wrote letter to government and governor to stop the plan of lake denotification. So leading cinema actors like Yash and Sudeep wrote letter to governor and chief minister supporting the campaign. And Kum Veerabhadrappa, S.R. Hiramet, opposition party leaders, central ministers, former prime minister expressed their protest against government decisions on mentioning the TV9 campaign. Finally, on August 29, 2017, state government released a letter written to Governor Vajubhai Wala, stating that it has dropped all ideas of denotifying dry lakes in the state. And another case study is the Rally for River. It is an awareness campaign initiated by Sadhguru of Isha Foundation. The campaign used all types of media to reach the target group. It had used print media, television, radio, social media platforms to publicize the issues. The Facebook page of Rally for River received 7,55,373 likes and 7,67,024 followers. It had received more than 12 crore missed calls. This campaign used television channels extensively. And Kaveri Calling is another campaign, again conceptualized by Isha Foundation only. This campaign aimed at plant 242 crore saplings on the banks of River Kaveri to help to increase the capacity of soil to retain water. There were many programs on television channels and articles written in newspapers and magazines about the campaign. Even social media circulated countless messages related to this. Advertisements and requests were made on mass media to involve the people. Though many people were against this, mass media circulated various content on the campaign. So then the Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, and the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, O. Pannirselvam, have both expressed their support, and Bollywood actress Kangana Ranaut has donated 4.2 million rupees to the campaign. Compared to all other states in India, more people, that is 5,691 from Karnataka people, supported the Kaveri Calling campaign. And media's potential in social mobilization. So to know that we have conducted interview with the environmentalist and journalist, eminent journalist of Karnataka. And it is found that the media has the potential to bring change in the society with respect to environment conservation. As said by the environmentalist, mass media can play a crucial role in creating public responsiveness about environment and conservation of natural resources. It can serve this purpose through various programs, formats in television and news formats in newspapers. As mass media is the cultivator of change, it can change the public perception into any extent. And the journalist opined that media played a crucial role in various environment conservation movements, yet it can do much more contribution. There is no regular reporting related to, I say this is the opinion of a journalist, there is no regular reporting related to environment, though it is very essential part of human life. Environment related news should occupy front pages of newspapers and prime time of news channels. And in several cases, it is proved that media can strengthen the environment conservation activities and motivate people to adapt environment friendly behavior. So this is a requirement to utilize the media's potential in right direction. And to conclude the paper, so the research found that mass media remains as powerful tool in social mobilization for the cause of environment conservation, and significant numbers of respondents were interested to access environment related news. And the case study revealed that television not only provided information but also lead to behavior change among the audience, though their participation in various environmental conservation through their participation in various environment conservation activities. And it succeeded in social mobilization for the cause. And the information spread through mass media like magic multiplier, and it initiates immediate action. The appropriate and extensive use of various media platforms resulted in receiving huge support from the public for Rally for River campaign. And the interview with the environmentalists and journalists found that media has the potential to bring change in the society with respect to environment conservation. And interviewees suggested for the regular reporting of environment, considering it as a special beat and dedicated reporter. And there should be a dedicated reporter for environmental reporting, and they should have a special reporting section for environmental issues. The special television programs, in-depth articles, and one column at least once in a week should be dedicated to environmental issue. That is the suggestion given by a journalist and environmentalist. And social media platforms can be extensively used in the form of used to form collective opinion with the dedicated groups. So this is the result, or this is for is our paper. If you have any questions, again.
Thank you, madam.
And our
It was a very
co-author Vahini
informative
is.
session. Yeah, thank you, ma'am, very much. I think we will invite both the chairpersons to leave the session open for the questions. We have a couple of questions from the audience as well. We'll come to
Yes.
the audience question later, but we'll just see if Madam Usha madam has some of the questions. Madam, over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Rajeshwari. Your presentation
ma'am.
was good. So
Thank you.
I open for the discussion of the audience, whether if they'll be having any questions, it will open. Let them.
Okay, okay, madam. Then I think we have a couple of questions from the audience. We have the first question from Dr. Shakti Vel, that he has mentioned that he would like to know the reason for female respondent restricted to only 22% of the data collection.
Okay, shall I answer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, yes.
See, there are see, we have not considered gender as variable. After collecting the data, we have mentioned, demographically, we have divided. That variable was not in our study. That is why we have not given representation, equal representation. And
Good.
we have second question, what % of female respondents are fully aware of environmental problem? Mostly the same answer remains because based on gender, we have not analyzed the data. That was not our concern. We just wanted to understand, how media can play. Definitely we can do in-depth study in this regard. However, we have, just see the relationship between, how environmental movements, can be promoted through media and how media can further further the environmental movement's impact. Okay, that was only our interest. That is the limitation.
madam, there is one more question from Nagraj, sir.
Yes, yes.
It says how much time the television channels dedicate for environmental discussion compared to the other programs?
It's already, it's been presented.
Out of 20, Vahini, I want to know out of 24/7,
Yeah.
how much time these channels are allocating the time discussion for only environment?
True.
Not based on
May not
the.
be. If you take every day, it may not take every day time slot. And to
Roughly,
be authentic,
statistics.
Be authentic. Definitely, we have not done content analysis as such. But generally, being a media teacher, I can say still there is a lot of scope to give importance to environmental reporting, and some of the newspapers and newspapers are giving importance to the environmental movements after global warming era.
One more questions.
Yes.
What your thoughts like compared to the historical environmental movements where there is no electronic public whatever electronic thing like Apiko Chedavali, Chipko Chedavali. Now there is a Kaveri calling and so many things. Lot of electronic media is there. What your thoughts like compared to the historical movement with something like which was very meaningful, like present day kind of liking this call kind of thing? What your thoughts like compared to present kind of media coverage? Historically there was no media coverage. What your thoughts like that moment, whatever, how it has reached the people, how it is translated, like present like Kaveri calling, how this is there? What is your thoughts as a professor?
If you take Apiko Cheluvali, I think all of us have studied when we are in primary school as a part of textbook also. To that extent, it was effective. It was mouth-to-mouth communication, and then newspaper was there, and definitely, localized approach was there. Okay, where the movement started, there the people used to gather, and from mouth to mouth, the information spread, and then the kind of intensity of emotion towards environment what people had is different from now. That is one aspect. Second one, if you take Kaveri calling, all of a sudden it became so popular, and every break had advertisement related to Kaveri calling, and people are aware of it, but the reaction point we cannot judge. That took a lot of time, whereas this suddenly spread. In the presentation we have mentioned, media acts as a magic multiplier, at least to give information, to reach people with the information, if not behavior change. Behavior change will happen, but now because of technology or making use of technology, environmentalists are trying to reach people effectively.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Any other question?
Just there is one more question we will take, and then we will move on to the other chairperson. It is how many colonies or streets you have covered in your data, or how facilities of all kind like computer, mobile, radio, which is the most preferred one? is what? I think they're asking the number of data collected. Is it Kiranmai, madam? I think she wants
Okay,
to know.
and now what I understand is the television is most effective. Definitely, television is effective because among youth, from whom we have collected the data, they are more exposed to television. And as it is mentioned in the paper, digital media was not so effective. Maybe it is limitation also, which has not reached. About 2 years back, it is 2017 campaign we are talking about, and it might have not been so effective with respect to digital media. That too, Facebook. I know they tried reaching people, and Facebook had about 7,54,000 followers, and that is definitely considerable number. But each advertisement in television reaches about 60 to 70 lakh people at a time throughout the country. So therefore, television will be more powerful media to reach people with the audio and visual, which will take a lot of attention from the listener, viewers.
Okay. I think madam has answered most of the questions. Usha Nandi, madam, do you have any question, or we can move to the Nandini madam's question?
No. It's no problem. Ask Nandini only to ask the questions because.
Okay. Madam, can you just
Yeah.
come in, madam?
Yeah. Dr. Rajeshwari and Dr. Vahini.
Yes,
I think you both are the most favorite in the university, and doing a lot of, you're justifying your subject. Not that you are advertising yourself, but that is your job, role of mass media.
Yes.
So, and that energy that you have, because in my experience, I have been writing in newspaper only. I think I have more than 150 to 200 news paper articles with me. I have collected, and the newspaper, they encourage so much. And most of the time I used to depend on these newspapers for promoting my environmental thoughts. See, more than, you take a class. In the class, we discuss in detail, but they are all the time concentrating on exam. It is only examination point of view. And the researchers go deep into one aspect. But then who is going to educate the public? So we are doing a lot of research, and we have been having interaction between the mass media department, not from this year or last year, from the past 20 years, we are having connection. And all their dissertation students, they will come and they will take up one of our research, and they will make a entire, they make it so colorful, and it is reaching people. I have seen, but somehow I didn't get the CD, only 1 or 2 CD I got. The entire biodiversity park was known to the world, because in the world, I think ours is the only first Charakavana medicinal plant garden we have in our campus. It's first of its kind, I think. Nowhere in the world this kind of a treasure, diversity, medicinal plants in the form of ganas and all that they recorded. Every tree they recorded, and then it was published. And those days, I am telling you, in during 95, 96, 97, this department was really making a lot of impact, and that impact was really sustainable. But according to now Rajeshwari's and Vahini's report, 40% is now with the TV. But earlier, no TV, not much, only newspaper. We were depending upon the reporters. And there are so many dedicated news reporters, environment section. They would come and wait here for us. There's no need to send. Nowadays, it is so difficult. You send a article of our research finding, but they don't have the time to fit it in. I feel that there should be much more focus on environment of real research. That research that is happening, and not with a lot of what you say advertisement and people like just now Vahini said that Kaveri calling became so effective. Like that only our when we did people biodiversity register, you should have seen almost all the newspapers were writing only about that for 1 week. So I think you play a major role. I have been always telling this to the media. Whenever they come for my program, I say you are the person who is going to bridge that connect between the scientists and the public and make them involved participation. Public participation can happen only through media. So we may be doing 35 years research, 38 research, and in the journals. What is the use? So I request Dr. Rajeshwari and Dr. Vahini that you are already very active, but still you have to bring out all our research, university research to the media, to the world, and to the public, and lead them in the sustainable development involvement practices. So that is my point. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You just to bring to your notice, all our universities in we are in communication department or communication studies, we have one subject called environment communication. It is not optional; it is compulsory subject. So all our students are learning it, but there is little scope in media to present it. I think people like you from environmental science department can always teach us, because so climate change communication is in order of the world now. It has become an emerging field of study and for the communication experts, researchers. So I think we can collaborate and do a lot of things in this respect. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Sure.
Thank you, madam.
Definitely.
Thank you for wonderful presentation, madam. Thank you. We move on to the next presenter without wasting any of our time. We have with us Dr. Neelkant S. Wali and Dr. Parvati Patil. I think Parvati Patil will be presenting the paper on behalf of Neelkant Wali. The title is Impact of Flood Effect on Public Health and Environment. They are presenting it from Kalburgi, Srimati Veeramma Gangashri College of Women's Degree College. Over to you, madam.
Hello.
Parvati, madam, can you hear us?
Hello. அக்கா கிட்ட பேசுங்க இல்ல மேலதான்
Madam, over to you, madam. Dr. Parvati, I'll just check out.
No, she was there. She is very much there. Some connection problem.
Must be some connection problem, connectivity problem. Actually, the third presentation also is by Dr.
Third also.
Parvati Patil.
Same.
So, shall I move on to the next person?
that Rajeshwari was there, no? She was there before.
No, Rajeshwari presented already.
So
Now
Rajeshwari-
Dr. Parvati, she has come now in the
Presented, madam.
She came earlier.
Yeah, earlier she was
Patil.
there.
She was there.
Dr. Parvati.
Hello, good morning, madam.
Third president
Good morning,
of the same
good morning.
college.
Parvati madam is there in a group, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Why
Dr.
she is not
Neelakant.
talking? Neelkant Wali, I am talking, madam.
Okay, you can
Okay.
present.
Okay. Oh, present. You can present.
Present, sir. You
Present.
can go ahead, sir.
Presentation is not.
Deepti, you can load it.
Yes, sir.
Presentation.
We will screen.
It's coming,
Yes,
sir. It's coming.
It's
Yes,
coming,
sir.
coming.
Go ahead.
The topic impacts of flood effects on public health and environment. So it's from Gulbarga, that is Srimati VG Women's Degree College, Kalburgi.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, madam. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Parvati Patil. My sir is not feeling well. Today I am giving the presentation, sir.
Okay.
This topic impacts of flood effect on public health and environmental, sir. Their introduction and study area methodology, result and discussion, conclusion and reference, sir. Next slide, sir. Introduction already, flood is a variety of direct impacts on the environment and ecological process. It plays an integral role in ensuring biological productivity and diversity, sir. And also flooding can directly impact to health and wildlife and livestock and river bank and sedimentation. The dispersal of nutrients and pollutants, surface and groundwater supplies and local landscapes and habitats. Next slide, sir. And study area, methodology is the second one. It is methodology also deals with study of significant of damage and dispersion and affects highly unmanaged areas. It is also essential for identifying consequences and assess the risks associated with the phenomena. And the quality of flood risk assessment methodology in urban areas, and it is also applicable to study of present of investigating some areas. And flood risk is also estimated using hydraulic model result in such as water velocities and water depths. And as a result, it is estimated based on the return period of historical rainfalls. And also the flood is affected in properties, and it is most affected areas in terms of flooding were easily identified. It is also implement and very effective in urban areas and common difficulties often said. Next, study area. It is also study area is described in also flood water can contains, it is pollutants, nutrients and trees and stones. And also in pollutants in flood water such as bacteria, pesticides, and also sedimentation and turbidity can result in the growth of algae and phytoplankton blooms that jeopardize and water quality. It is also important nutrients and mineral deposits can also be dispersed by flood water, resulting in improved that growth and overall ecosystem health. And it is also carried out in water and deposit on the landscape can provide fertility benefits. Also, some of the water floods show in some of the figures happened in many places this type. And result and discussion. Result and discussion, the flood carried out in cold chain and proper heat treatment of foods because the problems with the power supply, and also avoid communicable disease epidemics by counseling people to follow the 5 keys for safer food. It is safer food means that is poor water, hygiene and nutrition, and keep hands and utensils clean, and keep food at a safe disease, and separate raw and boiled food, and cook food systematically, and some microbial interaction or stroke transformation diseases. Next slide. Conclusion, the act defining flooding process and characteristic is independent of the decision to which method are applicable for delineating the boundaries of the hazard. The role of uncertainty is mapping allowance fan food hazards in different from that flood plain and management and mitigation. And also the flood is also paradigm instead of the riverine flooding, and paradigm creates its own set of difficulties for sound regulation of the hazard. And also it is depending upon some public health, for it is diseases also environmental. Last we are deciding to destroy the crops and trees and houses and polluted water, rivers and sedimentals, and also it is injurious to health. These are also some public health, loss of health informative responsibilities, and depending upon also flood is public health and environmental, some others. Thank you, sir. Some reference also, paper I refer, sir, some of the papers and environmental. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
The session
Thank you,
is
sir.
open for discussion. Madam, Usha, madam, any questions?
I have one question, ma.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Parvati. Dr. Parvati.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
Hello, madam.
Yeah. See, you are saying that impact of floods effect on public health. So when you are presenting the paper, you
Yes,
have to show some of the data. You are saying that microorganisms are affecting all that. Did you analyze what are the microorganisms present in the flood and other that?
Sir, that is time is not there, sir. I collected, sir. I collected, madam. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello, madam.
Yeah.
I collected, but not shown, madam. That is a very this, madam.
No, if you are presenting the paper, if you show the data only, it will be very effective. Only if it's only the materials will be there, it's not the other participant, they're not understanding what, only it's a reading material will be there only.
Analyzing, madam. The E-coil and that analyzing, madam.
Yeah,
that
at least we
what
have
is
to
it,
know
sir?
what are the types of bacteria will be present in that, microorganisms will be there, and other
Microorganisms
chains
present.
and all will be there. So you have to, at least you can give the number of
Data about
specimens, how you are what you have collected, and you should at least you should show the data when you're presenting. It will be very
madam.
much understandable for the audience.
Yes, madam. Hurry up, I did, sir. Next time I will come. I will give this, madam. Next time I will this.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very
madam.
much.
Madam, next is your presentation, but you just take a break. Meanwhile, we will continue with the second presentation, next presentation by Ms. Priyanka. Okay, we'll come back to you, madam. Before that, we will have the presentation by Ms. Priyanka from Department of. I request all the participants to please mute. Please mute, Dr. Parvati. Please mute your. Yes, thank you, madam. Ms. Priyanka,
Yes, ma'am.
Department of Biochemistry from Bhagwan Mahavir Jain Postgrad College, KGF. Her topic is water sanitation, health and hygiene at Kolar Goldfield. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Very good morning to all. Am I audible, ma'am?
You are audible. I request all the participants kindly mute your mic. There is a lot of background noise.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I continue?
Yes, please continue.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning to all. My name is Priyanka J. I'm about to complete my BSc in second year BSc Biotechnology. My fellow authors are Miss Roslyn K, Department of Biochemistry, Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College, KGF, Ravi Teja and Mr. Ravi Teja and Miss Kavya. Yes, ma'am. Next slide, please. So, introduction. WASH is nothing but water sanitation, health and hygiene in schools aim to improve the health and learning performance on water and sanitation related diseases. Access to water sanitation, health and hygiene is very important for active development and growth of children all around the world. Water sanitation plays a vital role in order to maintain proper health and hygiene practices among the school children. Access to water sanitation, health and hygiene is every child's right, as stated in the Convention on the Rights of Child, United Nations 1989. Schools with adequate water sanitation and hygiene facilities have a reliable water system that provides safe and sufficient water facilities. Ma'am, next slide, please. Objective. Objective of this study is the aim of the study is to get a better understanding about the level of awareness and explore the knowledge on water sanitation, health and hygiene at KGF. Methodology. The present study is a school-based survey undertaken in a semi-urban area of Karnataka state, India, with the objectives of finding out the prevalent status of water sanitation, health and hygiene. So the total sample was 150 students. Completing the survey was voluntary. However, all the students approached in the classes 1, 2, and 3 participated in the survey. So the questionnaires were administered by the investigators. All the questions were answered by all the respondents. There were no blank responses. Result and discussion. The study conducted in Kolar Goldfield, Kolar district, Karnataka, and the students was assessed. Results indicated that the knowledge of the students about health and hygiene. A survey was developed with questionnaires to interact with the school children personally. Studies included were those that documented the provision of water and sanitation in schools for children less than 19 years of age. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am, next slide, please. Okay, the result and discussion. Age of respondents. The respondents in percentage was 100%. Next, the gender of respondents. Male respondents were only 8%, female were 92%, and total 100%. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am, next slide, please. Okay. So the survey was conducted between two schools, that is school 1, aided school, and school 2, unaided school. The question was like this: regarding students' hygiene knowledge, attitude, and practice, how often do students wash their hands before meals? So the response was 100% of the students in both the schools accepted that washing hands is very important before meals to prevent various infectious diseases. Next slide, please. Next question was, how often do students wash their hands after coming back home? So the response was 55% of the students agreed that washing hands is very necessary after going back home, and 45% accepted that they wash hands fairly often after going back home. Next, how often do students wash their hands after using the toilet? The response was 100% of the students accepted that they wash their hands after using the toilet. Hence, from this study, it is analyzed that all the students aware about washing the hands is very important after using the toilet. Next slide, please, ma'am. Next slide, please. So how often do students wash their hands after visiting public places was next question. So 40% of the students agreed that they wash their hands after visiting public places always, and only 6% of the students accepted that they never wash their hands after visiting public places in school. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am, next slide, please. Okay.
Yes, it is changed. You
Yes,
can go ahead.
yeah, thank you, ma'am. How do students use soap to wash their hands? So the response was 75% of the students never wash their hands using soap in the aided school, that is school 1. This result shows that students unaware about the soap acts as antimicrobial agent and it prevents various communicable diseases. Students to be educated about the importance of using soap to wash their hands. 52% of the students in unaided school, that is school 2, use soap to wash their hands always. 40% of the students are aware in maintaining proper hand hygiene in their schools, in spite of not providing soaps during work hours of schools. Ma'am, next slide, please. So next question was, do students know what illness dirty hands can transmit? So the response, like 100% of students are aware about transmission of disease is due to improper hand hygiene. Majority of the students acknowledged about sufficient water availability in the school. Results indicates that the knowledge of the student about health, attitude towards personal hygiene, and the practice of it improved significantly with good education. So the teacher and parents are considered to be the guardian of the child to educate about their hygiene, but still children should encourage to adopt the procedures for use and care of water, sanitation and hygiene, enabling facilities at school and develop positive hygiene behaviors. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am, next slide, please.
Yes, the images are shown. Yes.
Okay, these were the images taken during survey. First image is that image, school one, which does not have proper hand washing facility. Then second image that creating awareness to the school, and even second image also similar, that is unaided school creating awareness about water, sanitation, health and hygiene. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am, next slide, please. So conclusion, the students adhere to the good habit of washing their hands after using the toilet or latrine, always or at least more of the times. Students included were those that documented the provision of water and sanitation in schools for children less than 19 years of age. 100% of the students accepted that washing hands is very important before meals to prevent various clinical conditions. 55% of the students agreed that washing hands is necessary after going back home, and 45% accepted that they wash hands fairly often after going back home. 100% of the students accepted that washing their hands after using the toilet. 40% of the students agreed that they wash their hands after visiting public places, and 75% of the students never wash their hands using the soap. So this result shows the students are unaware about the soap acts as an antimicrobial agent and it prevents various communicable diseases. So 40% of the students are aware in maintaining proper and hand hygiene in their schools in spite of not providing soap during working hours of school. 100% of students are aware about transmission of diseases is due to improper hand hygiene. Results indicated that the knowledge of students about health, attitude towards personal hygiene, and the practice of significantly with good education. So the teacher and parents are considered to be the guardian of the child to educate about the hygiene, but still children should encourage to adopt the procedures for use and care of water, sanitation and hygiene, enabling facilities at school develop positive hygiene behaviors. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Priyanka. Wonderful presentation. The session is open for
Thank you, ma'am.
the discussion. Usha madam and Nandini madam, just if you can take it forward.
Oh, Madam Usha. Usha madam. Matatara? Okay.
I
We
think
can't.
I'm lost to the connectivity with her. Or Usha madam, can you hear us?
Sure. No,
Okay,
we
ma'am.
can't.
Ma'am, we can go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Shall I?
Yes, ma'am. You go
Yes,
ahead. We
ma'am.
will. Usha ma'am, once she join, we'll get back to her.
Yeah. Miss Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Yes, ma'am.
you presented very meticulously, very nicely.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
For your age and you are an undergraduate. My only question
Yes, ma'am.
is, when did you do this survey? When was this
Ma'am,
done?
on March, we did March.
Before lockdown, huh?
Yes, ma'am, before lockdown.
Before lockdown. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am. Before lockdown.
so what I suggest is, what you've done is
Yes, ma'am.
good. So before lockdown,
Yes, ma'am.
you've done something. Now
Yes, ma'am.
during lockdown, you were not able to do. Maybe after
No,
lockdown,
ma'am.
after that,
Yes, ma'am.
you do one survey of the same
Yes,
place,
ma'am.
same institution. You do it,
Yes, ma'am.
you will know their preparedness.
Yes, ma'am.
COVID-19 preparedness is very important now, because WHO
Yes, ma'am.
also is promoting that each one of us should be prepared to face.
Yes, ma'am.
How we are prepared, how much. See what you have already started something. It's really good. And
Thank you,
number
ma'am.
one, personal hygiene and the practices what the children showed in your result. First is from
Yes,
their
ma'am.
parents, from their house, their guardians.
Yes, ma'am.
They are the first teachers for them. All these civic ethics and other things they learn from home. And then number
Yes,
two
ma'am.
is the teacher. Number two, you are
Yes,
rightly said, teacher. Number three is the authorities, the school institution, college institution authorities are
Yes,
now
ma'am.
very important. The
Yes, ma'am.
present situation, if it all it is reopened, how well prepared we are. So
Yes, ma'am.
I think you are in the right direction. You concentrate on that. Maybe
Yes,
not now, later when reopens, you make a
yes,
report. See, this is the change that is
yes,
made, because they were locked down all during lockdown. They saw TV messages and so much of WHO giving us guidelines. So how they have changed. So this will be one of the wonderful report you will have for your future. Okay, good. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
Priyanka.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
think Priyanka
Yes.
has got a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
valuable suggestion from Madam. Usha Madam, are you
Yes.
there, Madam? I think she is there, but
Okay.
Usha Madam?
Yeah, sure.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
Madam. Any
Priyanka.
questions?
Priyanka, it's a very good work what you have started, but
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not enough only two aided and unaided schools. You can go for more schools. So you will be having the
Yes, ma'am.
statistical data so that your paper will be very good. Okay, you collected
Yes,
more
ma'am.
data from more schools. Many schools are there, private schools, government schools in KGF, and you can collect
Yes,
many
ma'am.
data. And that questionnaires, you can add little more questions you can add into the questionnaires and collect the
Yes,
data,
ma'am.
so that it's very good for your future. Okay, so because of this
Yes, ma'am.
situation, it will be very good. You can collect more data, and you can interpret your results and publish one paper. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Priyanka, just one
Thank
question
you,
we
ma'am.
have from audience. It is
Yes,
by
ma'am.
Dr. Kumar. He asked, he would like to know that how many government aided and unaided schools had proper facilities to practice the hand sanitization or wash,
Ma'am,
water and sanitization hygiene.
ma'am, at present we took only two schools, ma'am. In that only one school is government school. I'll tell about that school, ma'am.
Okay, no, means he just wants to know that in the whatever the survey you did, that
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many government aided and unaided altogether, how many facilities these schools had for proper sanitation, hand wash and sanitation.
Not not much, ma'am. Proper
Okay,
sanitation was not very good. They lack proper washing facilities, hand washing facilities. They don't have proper toilets, ma'am.
okay,
Government
No,
schools, they don't have proper toilets, and the environment was not much better. Good.
okay,
no. First of all, there is very much problem about water.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
water problem was more in that area, I feel.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes. So yeah, Priyanka can take some more guidance from the institutions, a research institution like ours. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
we will help you.
In the
Yes,
chat
ma'am.
box
Sure.
also you have some
We
of the
have to
suggestions.
appreciate, madam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Priyanka is presented very well, and she has
Thank you, sir.
taken a very important aspect like sanitation is important for educational institution, and very good.
Yes.
And you
Thank
need
you, sir.
to extend your study for different levels of schools and institution. You will get a very good data for field applying and taking actions. So that will
Yes,
be
sir.
still better. Very good. So continue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. All the best, Priyanka.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go on to the next presentation. We have next presentation, Dr. S.T. Girisha from Department of Microbiology and Biotechnology, Bangalore University. He will be presenting on next generation alternative fuels. Over to you, Dr. Girish.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Oh, Girish, sir. Huh?
Next slide. Okay, good morning to everyone. I am Professor S.T. Girish, Department of Microbiology, Biotechnology, Bangalore University. Thank you for an opportunity given by the Honorable Chairman, Professor Nandini Madam, Department of Environment Science and Environment Science. So I am here with to discuss, to tell something about what next generation alternate fuel. Next generation alternate fuel. So this is the paper cutting, just for your reference. So Rajyadalli 2 koti vahanagalu. So in our Karnataka state already we crossed more than 2 crore of watt vehicle. Particularly in Bangalore, it is around what 76 lakhs. So this is the statistical data of 2008-9. How many vehicles are there? 11-12.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. So please, some things you have to tell in English because the audience is there from other states as well.
Okay. So in Karnataka state, we are having more than 2 crores of
Sir,
vehicles.
audience are there from other states as well. So we request you to tell in English as well. Thank you.
Yes, I am continuing in English. Okay. So 2008, it is around 82 lakhs. Then in 11, it is 1 crore. In 2015, it is 1.6 crore. In 17-18, it is 1.9 crore approximately. Next slide.
Can you just go on to the next slide?
Next slide.
So there is a time lapse, so it will take some time to change the slide.
Okay, madam. Okay, definitely. Then what? These are some of the photographs what we are seeing. So this is the strike we are seeing when the petrol or diesel or oil prices increase. Our citizen, they will do strike regard to those things. Next. And for all these things, what is the alternate? The alternate is what? Bioenergy or biofuel. So nowadays, these are all one or other the paper cuttings. So nowadays, in what level we are means the alternate fuel we are almost reached. Even we are using in what? Aircraft also. First aircraft already succeed flight by what this alternate fuel. And the first photo is regard to it is ready. Then the second photo, Dehradun to Delhi, the flight fly through what alternate fuel, I mean biofuel. Clear? Next one. Next one. So these are some of the other photo where we are running our KSRTC buses by alternate fuel. Then even train we are moving from what alternate fuel. So totally in almost all sector where nowadays what the alternate fuel or biofuel we are running the vehicle to overcome this what the crisis of this what fossil fuel. Next. So then the alternate fuel, so in one place we call it as a Harihara, it is in Davangere district, where ethanol plant was established. Then apart from that, bio, even solar also we are encouraging. And the other thing what I want to tell, in future, more we have to depend on solar electric vehicle. So nowadays where we are getting more attract, the people are they have interest to purchase electric vehicle when compared to this petrol and diesel, because the hike and the maintenance and the cost to bear the petrol price or diesel price, it is very difficult. So that's why maximum we are interested nowadays in electric vehicle. So to overcome this fossil fuel vehicle, now it is a time to move towards the other alternate fuels, like whether the bio or the solar or the electric, like that. Next one. So this is the other slide, very interesting slide. So the fossil fuel. So up to what time we can get the fossil fuel? So it is very much clearly, it shows that so up to how many years we can get this coal, gas, or oil. So the slide, ask them to move the slide. It is not showing the year. It is not showing the year. In the slide, it's not clear. So another 50 to 80 years, we may get this fossil fuel. Then after that, definitely we have to go for the alternate. So then what is meant by biofuel? Biofuel means the energy through the biological living things. Fossil fuel, it may substitute the fossil fuel. So it may be made from the agriculture crops or something like that. So the most common biofuels are one is ethanol and the other one is biofuel. Next one. So this is the slide regard to the geographical distribution of world biofuel production. So we can see here, US produce around 42% of biofuel, and they are producing and they are using. They are not they're not more dependent on the fossil fuel, followed by Brazil, then Europe, then China, Argentina, then Indonesia, Canada, Thailand, other countries. So in India, right now, very much negligible, where we are using this biofuel. Next one. Next one. So at present, how much of energy is coming from the biofuel? So petrol is around 37%. So nuclear electric power, from that we are getting 9%. From coal we are getting 23%, and from natural gas we are getting 24%. So only 7% of the energy we are getting from the renewable energy. In that renewable energy, solar contribute 1%, hydroelectric 34%, then geothermal 5%, biomass, I mean, it already told agriculture waste 53%, and from wind also we are getting energy. It is very much negligible. Once again, 7%. So we have to concentrate more, because compared to other, we are getting very much less energy in renewable energy. Very less in renewable energy when compared to other source of energy. Next. So based on this, the biofuels, we classified into 4 generations based on the availability of the biomass. First generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. First generation, I mean, how we are telling in mobile, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, like that. First generation means the energy, the bioenergy from the food source, I mean, starch, carbohydrate, something like this, where it leads food versus fuel crisis. So because of this, that we are not following this first generation biofuel. First generation biofuel means the fuel from the food source. Second generation biofuel means the food from the non-edible biomass, agricultural waste, something like this, agricultural waste. From that we are getting bioenergy, you know, that comes under what? Second generation. And the third generation means the energy from what? The microorganism, the energy from whether bacteria, fungi, or alga, something like this. All those things comes in what? Third generation biofuel. And the fourth generation means genetically modified microorganism, GM both. Genetically modified microorganism, we are getting the energy, genetically engineered, lipid enhancement, gene expression, gene silencing, something like this. So still now we are in what? Second generation biofuel. Third and fourth still not yet started. Clear? So next slide. So I told you, know, right now we are in what? The second generation biofuel. So second generation means non-edible plants. So in particularly, so now I am particular about Karnataka. In Karnataka, where we can make use the non-edible, I mean the tree, there are about 350 species in Karnataka we identified for this what biofuel production. So out of 350 species, 100 species are what? Well known. They are more suitable for this what? Biofuel production. Then even though 100 are there, our Karnataka government promoting 10 important species across the state where they are popularizing for the production of this what biofuel. Those 10 species are Pangamia pinnata, Azadetta indica, Brassica latifolia, Simaruba, Jatropha, Chlorophycum, Musa, Hevia, Stercula, all these things. In that side, we can see the Kannada name, what we call it as these 10 species are, they are very good source for what? The production of what? Second generation biofuel. In Karnataka, there is one biofuel development board, biofuel board, where promoting to grow these species, these trees by the farmers in their what field for the purpose of what biofuel production. So where they are supplying the plant-led samplings, financial support, everything they are doing, they are promoting to grow these plants in their field along with their agriculture crops, and in the wasteland for the purpose of what biofuel production. Next one. Next one. No slide. It's not showing the slide. So these are the what I told the name of the plant, but so many are not aware about how that plant look like. So this is the plant what I told. This is the Pangamia. Next one, quick. Pangamia plant. Next one, quick. Next. Sampling tree, other flower, seed, everything. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So this is a hippe. I told you know, this is the plant and these are the seeds where we can make use for what biofuel production. Next one. This is Suravanne, we call it as. So of course, even though what we produced what biofuel, so it has to meet what a certain standard. So in the standard, there are two different type of standard. One is what American standard, another one is European standard. So these are the properties what we are expecting from what a biofuel, biodiesel, so flash point, distillation temperature, kinematic viscosity, density, ester content, ash, copper strip, acid number, oxidative stability, iodine value. So what is the range? Everything is there, American and what European standard. So even though we produced, it has to meet the certain level. So suppose example, if we produced the fuel from the above 10 plants, so it is experimentally proved, it meets all these standard. I mean, I'm telling where effectively we can make use this what biofuel in our vehicle. Next one. So how much demand we are having? So in Europe, how much demand we are having for this what biodiesel? In North America, how much demand we are having, in Latin America, Asia, then all these things. In Europe, for biodiesel, it is having more demand when compared to the other continents. Next one. So how much we are producing right now, how much biodiesel we are producing, million liters per year, how much they are producing. You see, Germany is producing what? 1,921 million liter, followed by what? France, then Spain, Europe. Other countries, it contributing only 114 million liter. Totally in the world, they are producing 3,524 million liter of what? Biodiesel per year. Next one. Next one. So this is once again the same thing, same slide. That is the bar graphing, how much they are producing. No need. So we can apply biotechnology also in the field of what? Biofuel. Biotechnology play very important role for more production of what? Biofuel. So in what way biotechnology we can apply for the production of biofuel? So mainly biotechnology help in identification of new sources, identification of new microorganism or new plant, new bacteria or new what, alga, something like this, which are lipid rich. We need more lipid for their production. Then microbial biofuel, algae, fungi like that. Then optimized cultivation technology. So in what technology, in what media, in what temperature, we can produce more lipid. So what are the new technology for harvesting that lipid, all those things. Then improvement of microorganism. I mean, I already told gene expression studies, then their lipid pathway studies, then production of more lipid, something like this. In all the way, we can apply this biotechnology for high yielding of what? Lipid, algal species, ethanol production, something like this. Then ethanol production technology from lignocellulosic material. So cellulose enzyme. So what are the enzyme we can make use to degrade that what? Cellulose, all those things. Then efficient strain of bacteria, fungi to break down what? The lignocellulose, and optimize condition for ethanol production. So in different way, in all the steps, in one or the other step, definitely we can make use the biotechnology tool, I mean genetic engineering technology for enhance the production of what? Biofuel. Next one. Next one. So right now, I am talking about the central government in India. Even though we are lagging in the field of what? Biofuel, because there are so many what research institute where they are putting a sincere effort to produce what the more biofuel, more bioenergy production. In that one, there is one separate ministry for that. That is what? Ministry of what? New renewable energy. We call it as what? MNRE. Then other research institute in Delhi, TERI, the Energy Research Institute. They are playing a major role for more production. And another one, SSS, National Institute of Renewable Energy, Sardar Swarna Singh National Institute. It is in what? Punjab. They are playing a major role in what? I'm talking about in India. Then the different research institute. Then another one is Reliance Industry, then Mahindra Industry, Kirloskar Industry, almost all the leading industry, even what Wipro also, they are moving towards what? The production of this what? Biofuel. Reliance, it is in Jamnagar. They are having a very big plant, this Reliance Industry in Gujarat for the production of this what? Biofuel. And another one is Joint Bioenergy Research Institute. So these are very few and important research institute where they are working towards what? The production of what? I mean, the genetic engineering, biotechnological approaches in the field of what? Bio energy. So this is my last slide, I think. So in one way I can conclude. So definitely another about 20-30 years, definitely where the fossil fuel is going to exhaust, definitely we have to go for an alternate. The alternate I already told, sun energy, wind energy, or solar energy, or electric energy, whatever be it. Then the other one is what? Definitely bioenergy. So after 30 years, we are putting effort means it is no use. So now only we have to do more research, R&D, research and development. What are the possibility? What are the problem? How to troubleshoot all those things? So now it is the right time to move towards to think towards the alternate fuel, that to be what bio energy or biofuel, alternate to what fossil fuel. So in our laboratory, in our research, what is my research is in my laboratory, the major work is going on third generation biofuel. Third generation biofuel with the energy from microorganism. So bacteria, fungi, alga identification, genetic engineering. So totally in our laboratory, we are having our own different bacteria, fungal and algal, different strains. Genetically, we engineered, we studied the lipid pathways of those organisms, then gene studies, gene expression studies, how to enhance the lipid production in that bacteria, alga, fungi, all those things. We have our own strains in our laboratory. So where we can make use those organisms for the production of what? Bioenergy. They are lipid rich. We call them as what? Oleaginous microorganism. Oleaginous means microbial lipid rich organism. So we have our own oleaginous microorganism in our laboratory. We are having 10-20 oleaginous microorganism where they can make use for the production of lipid. Definitely the lipid is for bioenergy. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, this paper is open for discussion. Any discussion?
There are not many questions in the chat box. I think our DBN sir wants to ask some questions. Sir, can you come in?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah, Dr. Professor Girish, congratulations. You have touched a very good topic, topic like next generation fuel, eco-friendly energy you have touched.
Yes, sir.
Excellent topic and presentation is good. While you are estimating for the next generation, this fuel, alternative fuel, just I want to know what is the exact amount of energy required for India with a different sector, and at the same time, what will be the future projected energy without which you can't say this alternative energy. How much energy is required presently in all the sectors in India?
How much energy is required for?
All the sectors, different sectors in India. So only when you know how much is required and projected energy accordingly, so you can give a alternative energy. So that's why, because you have presented all over the world this biofuel and alternative energy, I want to know what is the amount of energy required for India.
India, how much energy required in the future? Suppose
no,
example,
presently, if you know with the different sectors how much is consuming and what will be the projected energy demand, so that you can give a exact solution.
Sir, in that slide I already explained, sir, how much energy.
No, nothing is there. Quantity is not there. That's what I confuse a little bit. For India, you are not different categories, percentage, global wise, you are given. Very good statistics you are given. How much is required presently and what will be the future demand with your alternative energy?
Sir, in another few slides, it was there, but the slide is not with me. In this moment, I don't want to give a wrong information, sir. Exactly, I don't know. Actually, it is some other slide, it was there, but when I cut short the slide, it is missed.
Because as per your title, without knowing that quantity and future demand, it is difficult to tell. Okay. Otherwise, the presentation is good. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I think Dr. Parmesh Naik wants to come in. Sir, any questions from your end?
Regarding this, exactly, I don't have any question, but I will speak some information about solar power generation.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah, I think Karnataka state throughout country, even world also, we are the Karnataka state number 1 to generate electric power generation from the solar panels. You are aware that in Pagoda Taluk, 2,100 megawatt power generation already commissioned.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir. In Madhugiri Taluk, we are having that very big plant, sir.
no, not in Madhugiri, Pagoda.
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 Yes, sir.
See, this is one of the unique project. More than 2,300 farmers, they contributed, 13,000 acres of land, and there is a MOU that is public and private partnership MOU between Karnataka state as well as with farmers, and farmers are remain owners of that land. And in that particular 13,000 acre, now different organization like Tata Solar and similar kind of very big organization already they installed solar panel, and 2,100 megawatt power generation already commissioned. And Karnataka state, we are having excess power, and throughout the country and even Asia also, in single place, this is the highest power generation. And regarding this I have conducted pilot survey and study, and I am also advisor to the solar power project farmers welfare association. Regarding that, I have conducted research, and few environmental impacts like these solar panels are hazardous. That is hazardous material. Solar panels are hazardous material, classified under hazardous material, and these panels are made out of heavy metals, different type of mercury, lead, and other heavy metals. And most of the broken solar panels, and during installation, during transportation, most of the panels without proper management, straight away they're discarded in the area in and around the solar project area. Therefore, those panels, there is a lot of contamination into the soil and water. So that's why that is very big issue. Already we have informed concerned authorities to immediately to install the disposal center, scientific disposal center. And second one, there is a small quantity of carbon dioxide liberation from the solar panels, and because of reflection there is a rise in temperature also. So that's why we have already suggested and informed the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board and another related organization to install the weather monitoring station in the area. And addition to that, wherever land is available, it may be wasteland or whatever the community or in and around the public area. In such area, we have suggested to develop the green belt, that is plantation program, and that is very seriously that is Energy Department, Karnataka State, as well as Karnataka State Power Solar Power Corporation Limited, and Renewable Energy Resource Department and District Administration, collectively they are working very seriously to develop and take care of all these environmental issues.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your information.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Girish. So I have one small question. This data what you gave, only 1% of solar is being used in our country, and 53% of agriculture, and that is, I think, the second generation. But as per Dr. Parmesh Naik,
yes, sir, it is, yes,
we are the pioneer and first in the Asia, and we are generating, according to him, it is 2,100 megawatt. So how this can be compared with 1%? Solar is only 1%. Of course, I know biomass is being used. Food first generation food was used. And then now we are changing in the ministry. We are telling them to go for non-edible second generation, and the non-edible is becoming, too much now. They
Yes,
bring
madam.
all the grains and say it is non-edible. So that is another issue to be discussed. But I think that table, what was given, should be, modified, or
Yes, madam. It is maybe it is
yeah,
old data, I
or
think.
the member of this solar power farmers, Dr. Parmesh Nayak, should give this report. I think is given already to the Karnataka government. I know that, but then it still needs to be uh, brought to the light of the ministry. Ministry should know how important it is. And I always add this question in my mind about this solar energy. I always thought that it will increase the regional temperature, and that is also, I think, is proven. And release of carbon dioxide, and the release is, I don't know how it releases carbon dioxide, or there is a rise in temperature because of the solar panel. That point, still I am not clear. So this is my maybe
Yes, madam.
submission, or it may be one suggestion. So I think we need to do more research and use that sustainable energy, which is so easily available. And then even the farmers, because farmers are our first people, and we have to think about their land and how we can food security. Food should not be used for fuel, and fuel only should come from something which is not edible, which is not used by the human being, and it should be sustainable. I feel solar is the best.
Yes, madam. Thank you,
Yeah.
madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think, Usha madam, any questions? We have audience questions also. We'll take it in few minutes.
You can go for the audience.
Okay.
Audience is important rather than.
Okay, madam. Yeah. So we just have one question from Dr. Shakti telling that what level we can depend on alternative fuel for energy demand. I think it's been answered, but also you would like to answer that? What level we can depend on alternative fuel for energy demand? Up to what level?
So 20% we can blend with what? The fossil fuel.
Okay. And also there was one more question that which can the biofuels be used in the aeroplanes?
Yes, madam. Already showed. We succeed already in that one. The flight from Dehradun to Delhi.
Okay, from Dr. Kumar, we have one more question. What are constraints of using biofuel? What is the efficiency of biofuel compared to conventional resources, compared to fossil fuels?
We can't compare the biofuel with what the conventional. Conventional are better than, always they are better than what? Biofuel. Because in biofuel, it need still so much R&D, research and development. So one fine day, definitely we will meet the level of what? 100% we will meet the level of what? Fossil fuel, no doubt in that one.
Sir, and also is the raw material, the question is asked again in the audience, is the raw material from plants easily available for biofuel production?
Yes, 100%. 100% we will get.
Okay.
Particularly lignocellulosic lignocellulosic biomass, anywhere, anytime we can get. Sufficient we can get. We can produce sufficient amount of what? Biofuel.
So there is one more question asking that is there any genetically modified plant for biofuel in your lab developed?
Switchgrass, not in our lab, but in US they have their own switchgrass.
So as far as biotechnology or microbiology department is concerned, there is no any as such modified organism for biofuel production.
Microorganism in our lab we are having, but plants we are not having.
Okay.
Microbe, I mean bacteria, fungi, alga we are having.
Okay. There is also a question from Mr. RK. He's saying, what is your thought on compatibility of existing motor engines to biodiesels? Is there any modification required for motor engines to be concerned?
Madam, for compared to me, the automobile engineer can answer very well for this question. So,
Okay, so
here only we have to work with the automobile engineer.
Okay,
engineering.
so the compatibility study is not yet been done.
Already they did, but in that automobile also R&D is going on.
Okay.
Automobile engineers and we scientists together, we have to work for that. We don't have only the production. That part they will take care. The automobile engineers, they will take care for that thing.
Okay, so there's one more question. Is there any possibility of using microbes in utilizing industrial effluent for
Yes, definitely.
production?
I already saw that question. Even if from sewage water also, by using sewage water also, with the help of microbes, it is possible to produce bioenergy.
Okay. All right. So I think most of the questions have been answered.
Yeah.
Anything just I
Shivashakti
would like.
will ask a question. Dr. Shivashakti will ask one question.
Yes, Dr. Shiv Shakti, over to you.
Madam, Madam, my questions been already answered by presenter, madam.
Okay.
Madam, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you. It's a very good, nice presentation, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Usha madam, and thank you, Nandini madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Moving ahead, we have the presenter from Department of Environmental Science, Bangalore University, Dr. Dept, who is going to speak on riparian ecosystem services of River Kaveri, Karnataka.
Good morning, everyone. I will be presenting on riparian ecosystem services of River Kaveri in Karnataka. So this is the order of my presentation in a particular direction and a channelized fashion. A very unique ecosystem that is associated with the rivers are the riparian ecosystem. So riparian ecosystems are interfaces between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem. If you can see in the picture, on either side of the river, you see a dark bluish patch, which is the riparian zone. So climate change can bring in extreme weather events like from no rainfall to high rainfall. So when there is a change in the rainfall, obviously there will be a change in the flow of the river. So when there is a change in the flow of the river, the riparian zone, its components like flora and fauna are also getting affected. A healthy riparian ecosystem depends on the flow of the river. And ecosystem services are nothing but the benefits that humans obtain from ecosystems. So for example, food, water, clean air, etc. Certain ecosystem services have a strong relationship with human health, like I already mentioned, like food resources or medicinal resources, clean water, etc. And how a natural system can provide good health and human well-being to people can be assessed with this concept of ecosystem services. So that talks about the nature-society relationship. And ecosystem services can be broadly classified into 4 categories: provisioning, regulating, cultural, and supporting services. So the provisioning services are the products that we obtain from the ecosystem. It could be like fuel, fodder, fruits, etc. So in this study, I am assessing the provisioning ecosystem services across the riparian landscapes of River Kaveri in Karnataka. So the Kaveri River, from its origin in Karnataka till its outfall in Tamil Nadu into the Bay of Bengal, the whole river length is 800 kilometers, of which 320 kilometers flows within Karnataka, which is my study area. So you can see here the riparian forest on either side of the river. The first 2 pictures are from the upper stretches of the river in Kodagu district, and the third picture is in Mandya district, and the last one is from the Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, the lower stretch of the river within Karnataka. So the entire 320 kilometer river stretch can be divided into 3 types of landscapes that it is associated with. So the river flows in the upper stretches, it flows within the coffee plantations, that is in Kodagu district. And in the middle stretch of the river flows in agricultural landscape in Mandya, Mysore, and T. Narsipura. And the last lower part of the river flows in the Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary of the Chamarajanagar district. So I took my sampling points in all these three landscapes. So in coffee plantation and the protected area, there are 10 sampling points, while in the agricultural landscape, which is huge, there are 12 sampling points. So here, you have number of locations as well as the respondents in each landscape. So for every sampling point, there were 4 respondents. So based on the other components, I had to choose the sampling locations. The method adopted was a mixed method approach, which had both qualitative and quantitative approaches. The tool from the mixed method approach was the participatory rural app selected, focus group discussions, qualitative interviews, and questionnaire survey. So the provisioning services that the communities obtained from in the coffee landscape, agricultural landscape, and protected area together were fuel wood, fodder, honey, fruits, mushroom, bamboo, and leafy vegetables. So here, both men and women were involved in the harvesting of the resources, and some of these services were harvested all through the year, while some were harvested only seasonally. So I have summarized this in the graph here. If you can see here, the fodder and fuel wood service is largely obtained within the agricultural landscape, while the other food services like honey, fruit, mushroom, bamboo, and leafy vegetables are largely obtained in the coffee agro-system and the protected area. Looking at each service individually, fuel wood is largely used in the agricultural land and protected area for cooking and bathing. So although LPG is available to the communities here, people still prefer fuel wood because fuel wood enhances the taste, and it is the food consumed through fuel wood cooking is much healthier. Fodder is consumed in agricultural land and protected area. So when we are looking at fodder, stall feeding of cattle, goat, or sheep can have unpalatable species. So open grazing of cattle is much preferred. And also when open grazing is done, this kind of fodder can enhance the health of the cattle, and also the byproducts of the cattle like meat or milk is also it also has more nutritional value. So if we know, we already know that like indigenous varieties of cattle or local varieties of cattle, they are in much demand. Their prices are high because of the nutritional value that they provide. When we are looking at with respect to food services, it was largely the coffee agro system and the protected area that consumed more amount of food services. So traditional knowledge indicates that local and seasonal food meets the dietary and nutritional requirements of individuals. For example, if we take honey, which is locally available, local and seasonal, provides high nutritional value compared to the processed honey that is available in the market. And also like processed honey, they mostly obtain it from monoculture plantations, whereas local honey will have pollen and nectar from multiple species. And also when there is seasonal flowering of plants, certain plants have high medicinal value, that pollen and nectar, which is also considered to be, which has more medicinal value for people to consume. Same things goes with other fruits, mushroom and leafy vegetables. So the seasonal availability helps in meeting the dietary requirements of the communities which are consuming them. So here I have summarized the various ecosystem services that are consumed by the people. So here you can see that coffee agro system and protected area consume more agricultural landscape. Although similar services are available across the three landscapes, it is the people preference for the consumption of these services. Then also why people prefer certain kinds of services is because one is based on the resource availability and preference, then accessibility. So going towards the riparian zone, might be difficult for certain villages. Like in one of the villages, a road was passing through the village and the river. So there the accessibility issue comes in, and the economic status of the household. So it was the higher income groups did not prefer to obtain the provisioning services. To conclude, loss of provisioning services can adversely impact the health of the communities and also the overall human well-being. And when we are looking at the landscapes, the coffee agrosystem and the protected area landscapes were potential ecosystem providers. So any destruction to the riparian zones within the coffee agrosystem and protected area could reduce the availability of these services to the local communities present there. And these are my acknowledgements. I acknowledge these people for supporting me with the work and some of my references. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
The session is open for the discussion.
Open for the discussion.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Deepti, I want questions. You are saying food resources will be found in, why the food resources is not found in the agricultural land area?
Ma'am, it's available in agricultural land also. My focus is people do not prefer to consume from there. Like honey is available in agricultural land, but the people in agricultural land are afraid of like honeybees. But in forest ecosystem, we have the tribal communities whose main livelihood is to extract the honey. So that preference is different.
Honeys we will be getting, no, all the honeys, whatever we are getting, it's coming from the tribal people.
Not all, ma'am. Like what is available in the market. So, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Deepti, we can hear you.
Yeah. So the honey, some of it is from the tribal communities, but what you get large scale, you see in supermarkets. I cannot mention the brand names, but they are all from monocultures. Like whatever brand that you see in supermarket, they are all from monoculture plantation. So they are processed. So some nutritional value might be reduced, but locally what is available has more nutritional value because there is no processing there.
Value?
Madam, can you speak loudly, madam?
Yeah, Usha, I think your voice is not clear.
I think, ma'am, the connectivity is poor. Madam, can you just tell the question again?
Yeah, go ahead. I think it's some connectivity will be problem.
Yes, madam, some connectivity issue.
Yeah. So now you, Likananda, you can go for the
audience
questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a question from, I think, from Prakash sir. What could be the reason for minimum honey production in your study area?
Sir, like I already mentioned, it was only the protected area which consumed more amount of honey compared to the other two landscapes. Like in agricultural land also honey is available, but people are not extracting it. So only that extraction part I have documented.
Okay. Kiran Mai also is asking, leafy vegetables does not come from agriculture lands, is it? She's asking.
So yeah, we do have them growing along the riparian zone, but the agricultural communities are not collecting the leafy vegetables. It's the preference of the people. So protected area communities do not have access to the market, like the tribal people, they do not have access to market. So they prefer to harvest it from the local place.
Okay. We have a question from Dr. Kumar as well. Which ecosystem service is more among all ecosystem services in your study area, and what may be the reason?
So here, actually, I give more preference to fodder because agricultural landscape, more number of respondents preferred fodder because of its availability, and then further the byproducts that we obtain from this fodder or grazing is providing more nutritional and value to the communities.
Okay. There's one more question from Ms. Rekha Desai. She's asking, in your slide you had mentioned, or in your presentation you mentioned that carbon in the fuel wood what is used for cooking is more tastier. But she's just saying that carbon emitted when wood is used as a fuel for cooking is supposed to be harmful for human health. Can you share your views on this?
Yes, ma'am. We definitely know that burning fuel wood has carbon emissions leading to global warming, and it is also impacting the health of the women who are cooking. But the communities prefer this kind of food. Although LPG is available, even protected area, LPG is provided. But certain studies elsewhere also among the tribals say that tribals prefer to consume food that is cooked in fuel wood, and they also mentioned, like tribal communities elsewhere, literature says that consuming food that is cooked in LPG can cause them some stomach upset and skin rashes. So this is not from my study, but from literature review I found that.
Okay, I hope that is answered well. Dr. Shakti is also asking one more question. How do you justify that monocrop coffee plantation has major eco-service rather than complex diversity in agriculture riparian in Kaveri Basin or Kaveri River?
Okay, sir, actually coffee plantations, I rather call them a mixed crop, because along with coffee plantations, there are a lot of shade trees. So there is tradition, what do you say, like forest species that are being grown, which are providing shade to the coffee plantations. So we have trees there, and then we have these pepper vines growing on the trees. So there is coffee, pepper, and multiple tree species which are growing in the same plantation. And in addition to this, there is also orange and cardamom in some places in Kodagu. So rather than calling it a monocrop, it is a mixed plantation, but coffee plants are much higher compared to the other crops.
Okay, thank you, Deepti. I think that's it for the questions. Any concluding remarks the chairpersons would like to give?
Madam Usha. Madam Usha. Can't hear.
Madam, you are not audible, madam.
Usha, madam, we can't hear.
Madam has to unmute.
Unmute.
Yes, yes, ma'am. You can speak now,
Go
ma'am.
ahead.
Now it's audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, it's very informative paper what you have presented today. It's good for the understanding the theme what you are doing the research. Okay, so you can keep doing more informative information regarding this to the communities. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, madam. Nandini, madam. Any
Oh, yeah. Dr. Deepti, very good presentation. I know you have a lot of information, but the time is short. Let us have a detailed discussion in future. It's good, and you can continue this and find more of this ecosystem services in other area also, different forests, different riparians, and so on. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Madam, Usha madam wants to say something. Chair, Madam Chair, Chair want to say something.
No, it's not audible. Madam, shall we move on to the next, madam, or you have a question? Okay, I think we will move on to the next presenter. Last but not the least one we have from again from Dr. Parvati Patil from Kalburgi, health sanitation aspect of flood management.
Hello, madam.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam, you are audible.
Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon. Just a moment, madam. We will share a slide.
Good afternoon, everyone, madam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Myself, Dr. Parvati Patil, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, VG Women's College, Degree College, Kalburgi, Madam. That's health sanitation aspect of flood management. Next slide, Madam. Introduction. Next slide, Madam. Introduction and area. Next slide, Madam. Next slide, Madam.
Yes, madam, there is a time lapse due to connectivity
Then,
is a little slow. Just a minute, madam. Yes, madam, you can go
yes,
ahead.
intersection, study area, methodology and result discussion. Last is conclusion part. And introduction, this flush is usually depends the combination of probability of occurrence and potential of consequences on people and environment. And it is also is modeled by three components: hazards, exponents, and evaluation possible. And the environmental flood exposed to EDP requires identification and variability. The environmental of the characteristic of the source of pollution. It is explained as this chemical contents how much in the flood. Next, madam. Study area. The flood areas is susceptible to flooding, and possible for flooding is occur in areas usually long periods. In a heavy rainfall, it is due to. In Bangladesh is most very rainfall in the world, which oil. Next, madam. And also methodology, how to control flooding. The control of water level dams, check dams, and build barriers levels and embankments and flood walls. And also it is a river channel, state in widen and deepen it and control land use, madam. River and land use zoning and floodways, how to way of flood is going on, the rainfall. Next, madam. Next slide, madam. These are control of flooding, madam. Next slide, madam. Result and discussion. The flood is also, madam, this how to control this water for food handling and preparation and population displacement, forcing people to have fever and food choices and food handling practices in the flood, how to you control and contamination fruit and vegetables and poor sanitation and including lack of safe water and toilet facilities. It is also how to find out in flood, how to choose, madam. Next, madam. Next, madam. And also people are aware of this immediate impact of flooding, loss of human life and damage and destruction of crops and loss of livestock and deterioration of health conditions and waterborne diseases and communication links and in infrastructure like power plants and roads and bridges damage. And also some of the economic activities may come to standstill. People are forced to leave their homes and also normal life. And also some of the disease will come, some heavy metals. It is very difficult to manage that people for flood. Next slide, please. And also, madam, this similarly description of industry also led to loss of livelihoods, damage to infrastructure, also causes long-term impacts. And some of the heavy metals causes in human life for during the flood. And also it is a impacts such as disruption to supplies, clean water, water treatment, electricity, transport, and communication, and loss of livelihoods, reduction in purchasing power, and loss of hand value in floodplains can leave the communities and economically vulnerable, madam. Conclusion, madam. The site investigation is essential to distinguish alluvial fans and landforms, identify which part of particular alluvial fan all subject to hazard, and regular flexibility is necessary to effectively manage flood hazards. Means some of the heavy metals also affecting human health. The percentage is very high compared to this leveling of heavy metals in human body. Also, the existing regulatory framework and divides all flooding sources irregular and leads to inconsistency when imposed to specific sites. Next. References, I refer these, madam. These are following references, and also flood is also injuries also help to in all flood areas, and we have to choose this water filtration. You have to take care help to the flood peoples. Is aware to some of the heavy metals also affect in human body and nerve system. In this, the chemical substances is also very effective in human body. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma. This paper open for discussion, ma.
Yes, yeah. I'll look up for the audience for any questions.
Yeah, first I wanted to ask one question.
Yes,
Parvati Patel, which year did you conduct this experiment?
Patil, madam.
Patel. Which year you are conducting? Which year you are conducting?
In lab, madam. In lab, madam, only the heavy metals I showed, madam. One of my friend is helped.
No, which year you have conducted the experiment? Which
last year, madam. Last year.
Last year.
Only.
You are saying that heavy metals will be present. What are the heavy metals will be present? It will affect the human.
Even this flood is also so many lead and mercury and zinc. Only the present in ppm in our body, but a very percentage means it may be 42%, 52% in flood is available. 42 and 52%.
Did you
some
measure?
Of the heavy metals.
Did you
heavy
measure
metals.
that? Did you measure?
No, madam. You have to measure this one. Calculated, madam, that water. The ppm is present in our body. That the present in our body, these heavy metals due to BB always 5.0. The flood is available in 42% is that contamination in flood water. It is due to health effective, madam, this one.
Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. From audience, ma'am.
From audience.
Prakash sir has a question. So what is the suggestion that you give? What is the permanent solution for flood flow? What is the permanent solution for flood prone areas?
Flood prone area.
Parvati, madam. Yeah. What is the permanent solution for flood prone areas?
Which area, madam? Flood prone area.
Yeah, Prakash sir can speak.
Parvati, madam, your
Yes, sir.
presentation is good, and you have touched upon one of the important aspect, environmental disaster, particularly the flood-prone areas.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what is according to your observation you have made? What will be your suggestion to give a permanent solution where frequently floods are happening? What kind of suggestion you can give to control or overcome the flood areas? Maybe a sanitation or maybe a pollution, anything. But your observation, as per your observation, what kind of permanent solution you are trying to give overcome these flood-prone areas?
Take care to this, sir, and you have to filter water for drinking.
Yeah.
And some suggestion means you have to avoid from some of the places. You have to move and
Replacing, rehabilitation. Is it correct?
what, sir?
Relocation of people from the flooded areas.
Areas.
Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Relocation of the people who are affected from the flood areas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your
Thank you.
suggestion.
Yeah. Madam, our next question is from Dr. Kumar. So he asked, what is the annual rainfall in your study area?
What's, madam?
Parvati, madam, what is the annual rainfall in your study area?
Annual means rainfall, madam.
Rainfall.
Madam, it is mostly highest means that is 500 mm. Lowest means it is mostly 300 mm. Madam. 500 mm is more. That rainfall is more means.
Next question is, yes, ma'am. What are the causes of, madam, next question is, what are the causes of flood in the study area?
Causes of flood in the study area means, madam, heavy rainfalls means it happens, madam, and also there's rivers connected and damage to skin, eyes, madam. Some injuries in environmental also, and some economic loss, madam, and in hospital road transportation, and that becomes harmful and destroyed the bridges also, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. There is a suggestion So you could include some statistics on flood-prone areas and also give a relationship between rainfall occurrence. I now request Nandini madam to speak, ask any questions.
Dr. Parvati.
Namaste, madam.
Yes, I think you're from a college.
Yes, madam.
Anyway, colleges are now encouraged to do research.
Yes, madam. Yes.
There are also some research grants
Yes,
given for colleges. I think you can take it up seriously and take the project and involve the final year students, final semester, and do some more work in this field. This is not sufficient because this is a
already we have done, madam, water analysis in separate area. Analysis of water.
Analysis is not the only research, you know. You have to be go into detail so that the student understand how important this topic is. That is what we want, you know. Students should realize what is this topic and how important it is and what has to be done. These three things, if you remember, I think in the future it's going to really help the undergraduate students. And they will become very good scientists tomorrow. Thank you, Parvati.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much, madam.
With no further questions from the audience, we will move on to our last presenter of the day, Mrs. Alaknanda, faculty, Surana First Grade College, Bangalore. She will be presenting on development of biosensor for nitrate detection in water. Over to you, Alka.
Thank you, Deepti. Give me a minute. I'm just trying to share the slide.
Okay.
Suggestion
I think the slides is being seen.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity on this platform to speak on a part of my research work, that is development of biosensors for
Make it full screen. Full screen.
yes.
Full screen, Mark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so development of biosensors for nitrate detection in water. I'll just give a background of this study, that nitrates are, why did I choose the nitrate for as a pollutant or as a pollutant? That is reason because the nitrates leach out naturally into the groundwater depending on the bedrock. It is also being extensively used in the field of agriculture. From this agricultural fields, finally nitrate finds its way to the water bodies, maybe the lentic ecosystem, the lotic ecosystem, or maybe the groundwater as well. So studies reveal that the nitrates are accumulated in vegetables and meat and finally entering into the human body, leading to health problems. So the bioaccumulation is taking place huge. The conventional methods of determining this nitrate is tedious, or what we call usually as a PDB, determine it by PDA method. So it's skillful, it involves high amount of chemicals, and also it is a time consuming. Therefore, I chose this designing a biosensor. The variable composition of the pollutants in wastewater over the time due to intense industrialization and urbanization, and to meet the needs of the rising population, it has prompted me in increased attention to the development of new technologies for tracking pollutants and using a cost-effective and real-time strategies. The materials and methods are the biochemical. I have used the biochemical nitrate reduction test, the principle of the biochemical nitrate reduction test, which usually we do for identification of the bacteria. So same test I have used, the principle I have used, and I have followed the standard method by governance team. Experiment design is based on the E. coli and its ability to produce nitrate reductase enzyme, and which hydrolyzes into nitrate and nitrite, and which may then again be degraded to various nitrogen products, like maybe the nitrogen oxide, nitrous oxide, and ammonia, depending on the enzyme system of the organism and the atmosphere in which it is growing. So the same principle I have applied in my study. So this is what is a reaction. What happens is when these nitrate comes into the water bodies, and to detect those nitrate reduction, what has happened, we use this diazotized sulfonic acid, which is then colorless, along with the alpha naphthalenamine, which is also in colorless. But when we add this sulfobenzene azodide, which is a red dye, the entire solution turns red, and that indicates that the microorganisms have reduced the nitrate to the nitrite. So from these reactions, I did the various, I obtained the various results for various concentrations, and obtained these calibration curves also. I detected the absorbance. I did, both I used method, the conventional method, and the designed biosensor. I'll speak about what I have done in the biosensors, but this is what is a calibration curve, because this calibration curve was very important. It helped me in writing the software for this biosensor. So this is how the calibration curve played an important role. So this is what the calibration curve I have used. Then I have done the optimization study. The standard nitrate concentration I have used, that is from 1 mg to 140 mg. The various concentrations I have used to obtain this calibration curve. And the devices to design and fabricate is devices used to is the optical property, which can sense the intensity of light, and the digital output, which will be produced in the form of concentration mg per liter. So these are the various concentrations which when I have used, and I have got these all different color combinations, in different color variations which I could see. So for which I have taken the optical density for every other color intensity, so that when I test it for the sample, I will get the correct or exact reading. So I should not miss out any of this. So I have tried to develop maximum color and give the input into my sensor. This the right side picture, which the two test tubes, this is with the high content of nitrate. This is a nitrate broth with the heavy load of microorganisms, and when we add the solutions, I get these dark colors. So this I have just given it for a reference, that this is when the concentration is maximum, and this is over the period of when we dilute the solution, we get these various range of colors that are developed, and this is one of the baseline study for my sensor designing. So for my sensor designing, this is what is how it goes about, or the sensor will have the components. That is, one is a sample holder. Then I have used the TCS 3200 sensor and the microcontroller chip, that is the 80MEGA328 microcontroller chip, and the LED display to display my results. Then this is the block diagram of the design biosensor. This is how my assembly will look like, or will have all these components. And this is the actually working, like how the current, whatever the current is developed, that is converted to frequency. So this is the light, and these are the different components inside. And from through which it will be converted into in the form of frequency, and the color frequency will be I will get it in the form of output or a reading. So this linear equation, whatever was formed, was used for writing the program, as I already mentioned, and the software that the recorded data is configured, and it is programmed using the C++ language as commonly used in the board, and it is interfaced with the microcontroller. I'm so sorry, very sorry. Yeah, the efficiency study, when I studied the efficiency with the designed biosensor and the conventional method, that is PDA method, what we use, I found that the nitrate analysis by standard method, wherein it was 6.3, whereas the design biosensor what I used was 6.45, and after the treatment also I did same, the before the treatment and after the water treatment. So for both the studies I have used the conventional method and the biosensor design. So this showed me 3, and whereas in the design biosensor it gave me 2.56. So efficiency I found that 95.6%. And to cross check this, these my conventional results, I had given it to the outside lab also, so that I can verify the my efficiency of the designed biosensor. So it was almost the 95.6% efficient it was found. So to conclude, I would like to say that the design biosensor showed the results on par with the standard methods. The variation was seen of just 4.4% in the obtained result, and design biosensor is quite efficient, and it takes only the 30 minutes of time, wherein our conventional method, it takes for more than about 2 hours, and every time we need to develop a calibration curve. So in this method, there is no any requirement of calibration curve, because it has been already stored. The various forms of calibration curve with various readings, it is being stored, and it can be just tested with the cuvette, a normal cuvette, and the sample holder. You keep the sample and you get the reading within the 30 minutes of time. So this is quite tedious, skillful method can be overcome, and this has led to a development of low-cost real-time biosensor for nitrate detection using simple electronic components like circuit board, microcontroller chip, and a TCS, which is a color sensor. And 3 components were fabricated to develop a color detective sensor using a bioelement here, nitrate reductase enzyme from E. coli. So this is how my instrument will look at the end. This is the sample holder, the black color box you can see, which is closed, which has got a closed lid, because it should be closed, because the outside color should not, or the light should not interfere with the reaction. So it will be closed. So here, this is the sample holder, and this is the device which contains all the circuit board, what I showed in the block diagram, and which is fabricated. And the final output of the biosensor will look something like this. So thank you very much. So this is my just a very short presentation on a part of my research work, what I have done.
Thank you, Alka. Yeah, I request Usha madam to ask questions.
Discussion, ma.
Yes, madam, I'm open for the discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lagnanta, I have one question.
Okay, ma'am. I'll take questions from the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think madam has a question.
No. Let other people.
Madam, you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Participants.
Madam, Alka, your question is from Dr. Kumar. How many samples can be analyzed once it is calibrated?
You can analyze n number of samples. There is no any such limitations for it, because the calibrated data is being already stored into the chip. So as far as your chip is functioning well, it is all right. You can store that data. You can link that data to even your system as well. So there is no any limitations for detecting the sample as such. But if you want to verify that whether you are working it or not, once in 100 samples, probably you can just check with again the calibrated and see to it that you will not get any faulty results, because that it's after all an electronic device. So you never know how it will, over the period of time, it may dysfunction. So to keep it in a proper function, probably if it is better on a safer side to be that we always calibrate it after our say 50 samples or 100 samples, but you can set a limit for that. But as such, it does not require.
Yeah. another similar question. In terms of months, how many time, like how long can the biosensor work with calibration?
I mean, I didn't get the question. Can you just repeat the question?
Yeah, so this calibration is in terms of time period, or is it in terms of samples?
No, there is calibration. It is only for the color. There is no any constraint for the time, nor any constraint for the number of samples. The calibration, what is developed is the range of colors. That is what I showed in the photographs, that I have used lightest of the red color to the dark color. So that even the colorless, the distilled water also I have checked, used in my calibration, because distilled water will be having zero
Sorry for
nitrate.
the interrupt.
Yes, sir.
His question is, after every instrument, when you are working, there will be a standard calibration period. Like
Sir,
when
you
we have to
are
calibrate
not
the
clear,
instrument,
sir.
that period is
Sir, your
asked.
voice is echoing. Your voice is echoing.
That period is asking for a biosensor, what will be the calibration period for next calibration, how much time in terms of number of samples analyzed. So that is asking actually.
Sir, calibration time it will not require, because it is like if there is any change in the thing, again you have to write a program. So it is just a matter of writing the program. Yes, it is just a matter of
Is
writing
it
the
the
program.
based on the total time or based on the number of samples after analyzing? Is asking.
That is
So
what, sir. It is always better to do it after number of sample analyzed. If you are
that is what is the maximum number of samples?
I have analyzed almost say more than 50 samples, and again then I have calibrated, but the need of calibration was not required. When I consulted the software engineer, he said the program is all right, you can go ahead. So then from that thing I concluded that we can still go up to 100. He said it will not change as far as you meddle with the programming. Unless and until you take out the chip and meddle with it, it is not going to change the calibration so far.
Okay,
So yes.
Thank you, madam. And I have also small one more doubt. As you have mentioned, this efficiency of the biosensor is showed 95.56. My doubt is, what is the minimum efficiency to accept better performance of your biosensor?
So that I have to check with the commercially available, if it is are there any of the commercially available
When you are looking for the better results, so you need to consider what should be the minimum efficiency of your biosensor. Then only we can
probably
accept
when
it.
it comes, yes sir, probably because nitrate is again one of the major pollutant. So if it is a major pollutant, probably I should look for reach the 100% efficiency only. But this is what I have. This is what I have got. So what I have got is I have told. So probably I have to work out a little more with again
any minimum limit. Yeah, if you have any minimum limit, say around 90%, if it's giving, it's a good result like that.
So I have to find it from the literature review again. I will find and the commercially available also. Commercially available, which if there are any, I have to find out from that what is an acceptable level, and probably I will put that into my.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next question is from Dr. Shakti. So he wants to know whether your biosensor will detect nitrate from the sample irrespective of the pH.
Yes, it is irrespective of the pH, because when I was doing this calibration curve, I have studied the pH at different levels, means at acidic pH also and at the alkaline pH also, because it is not much, pH is not much giving any differences, because we are testing the after the water samples are collected and they are loaded with these chemicals what I showed, and just the color is developed. So the color is developing even in the acidic content and as well as in the alkaline conditions. So it is not going to matter as such. That means it has not mattered with me whatever the samples I have tested.
Next question is from Dr. Kiran Mai. So which sensor, chemical sensor or biosensor, is more cost effective?
When it comes comes to the cost, of course, the biosensor is more cost effective because this is a one-time investment you study. But chemical, when it comes to the chemical, you have to always feed in the chemical. So chemical cost will be recurring, and moreover, you are again generating more of pollution by using more of chemicals. So which are leading to again water pollution or going into the drains, going into the sewage. So you are adding to it. So biosensors, we prefer biosensors because these biosensors are quite degradable, but of course every system has its own pros and cons, but it is more if you take only the cost wise, I think this biosensors is most cost effective than the chemical ones.
Next question is from Dr. Raghavendra. So have you done this analysis only for Rishabhavati river effluent, or have you done even for groundwater?
No, I have done only for the surface water. I have checked with the lake waters, few lake water, and the Vrishabhavati river. I have not tested with the groundwater, but it's a good suggestion. Probably I will take out in the next thing too, so that probably I can increase my efficiency level and the calibration. It will help me in calibrating and increase the efficiency, because nitrate content, I didn't choose the groundwater because groundwater contains very little of nitrate. Only in the where there are landfills or the dumping yards, probably in and around might have the or near the agriculture areas, but I have not tested for it, but I will take it up as a suggestion and go for it.
So next question is, what is the minimum detection limit?
It can detect up to 0.45 milligrams per liter.
Okay. Next question is by Dr. Kiran May. I'm not sure if it is answered. How many times does this sensor be used or replaced or film inserted?
No, there is no any film inserted into it, madam. It is just depend. It is a depends on the microcontroller chip is what is being used. So there is no any film as such. So there is no any replacement question. As far as the instrument is not meddled with, it is not going to have any replacement or any recurring cost.
Next question is from Dr. Kumar. So what is the principle behind color development in these samples?
Yes, I showed in the reaction that the microorganisms, any of the bacteria like the E. coli or maybe the Pseudomonas, they have the nitrate reductase enzyme. So that is what I have picked up, and most of the surface water will have these organisms, either the E. coli or the Pseudomonas. It has been studied, lot of literature review I have done, and most of the surface water, especially where the surface water is where these drains are linked to or where the sewage water is there, essentially the E. coli will be there. And E. coli is one of the organism which is much more effective in reducing the nitrate to nitrite. So the same thing I have picked it up, and using this biochemical test which I mentioned in the earlier, using these biochemical tests, I have developed the color. I mean the same chemicals which is used for the microbial testing, same thing I have used here and developed a color and then developed a calibration curve. So instead of going for all the time calibration curves and waiting for that development of a color, wherein we use PDA method, phenol disulfonic acid, sometimes even if the quantity is very minute, we do not get the color is not developed with that. And that is to overcome these actual ground level problems, I just tried with this principle I have picked up.
Our last question from the audience. How are the final results expressed? Nitrate, nitrite, or any other nitrogen species?
No, it will be expressed as nitrate only, because again the literature or the review says that when it is reduced to the nitrite or nitrite, but it is based, the reduction is based on the total amount of nitrate only, though it is reduction, but it is because of the main component, that is nitrate, which is present, which is reducing. So it will be expressed in the terms of nitrate mg per liter.
One last suggestion from Dr. Kiran May, please concentrate on other chemical percentage identification also. And she says it's a good work.
I will surely take out, but this was a part of my research, but this itself has taken long time for the calibration. It really takes a lot of time for even the software programming, because me not being an engineer but an hardcore science person, life science person, so it was difficult. But definitely I will take it up probably in future if my guide, again, she is willing to guide me further for this, I will definitely take it forward. Thank you.
I now hand over the session to the session chairs.
Okay, ma. Alangnanta, it's a very good presentation and informative and useful presentation, ma.
Thank you, madam.
So whatever question I wanted to ask other participants, when really they were interested to ask more questions regarding this. Okay. Very good presentation and it's nice.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, doctor, going to be doctor, Mrs. Alakananda. Very relevant questions were asked because it is only one part of your research, but you still have a lot of future to develop a sensors for the other parameters also. But thing is, we should keep in mind, all of us, whether it is cost effective. Cost benefit analysis has to be done because commercially also it is available, and whether it is a cost effective and it's green, in the sense it should be a sustainable one compared to what we are doing manually. So that comparison need to be done, and otherwise if it is going to be sustainable and cost effective, this is one of the best work I can tell you. You can go ahead with your
Definitely, I
work.
will take it forward,
Yes.
ma'am. Definitely, I will take it forward.
You have to plan.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. I think there is one question that does the sensor can store analysis results and the maximum number of data that gets stored. So for thousands of the data can be stored. If you connect that to your system, you can download it as and on when required. So the data storage is not a problem at all. Recovery can be done.
Thank you, Alka. Session chairs. Yeah. Thank you, session chairs. Do you want to speak any words, madam?
No. Professor Madam, chair has to compile and conclude.
Yeah.
Chair has to do that.
So, good afternoon, all of you. Today, there is a main important things what we have discussed regarding the public health and environment. There are 7 papers regarding different fields of this public health environment. Okay. So this public health environment is really about protecting populations like communities, cities, states, and nations from threats to their health, safety, and well-being. So therefore, environmental public health focuses on protecting groups of people from threats to their health and safety posed by their environment. So protecting people from environmental health threats requires an understanding of basic human needs and how the environment can affect them. So first one is the basic physical needs that are required for life, that is the air, water, food, and shelter. The second needs for community that make life easier, that is the family, social group, medical care, sanitization, etc. The third one is the emotional, spiritual, relational needs that contribute to personal happiness, is that sense of control of life, choices, and events, fulfillments, and ability to close to others. And for all these needs, meeting all these needs, contribute physical, mental, and emotional health of staying healthy depends on the safety of our environment. So apart from this, disaster is also one of the disasters also create unsafe and unhealthy communities by disability community services. So finally, disasters can affect our mental health and creating family stress and eliminating any sense of control. So by this, your health, your environment seeks to highlight science programs and staffs who works daily to promote environmental health and safety for all our daily needs. So with this, I'll conclude thanks to the organizer to given me an opportunity to share this session, and thank you so much, Professor Nandini, to conduct this webinar conference. I'm very proud of you, And I think this is the first time we'll be doing in our university. I feel that the webinar conference will be conducted. So I'll wish you all the best for the participants as well as all of you for this conducting the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Usha Anandi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman of the Department of Zoology. I just want to say one sentence about Professor Usha. She works more and talks less. And we have a few women scientists in our university who are very hardworking, top class scientists, but they will not come anywhere highlighted. They will be doing research in their lab. So only sometimes the people like us, we discuss every day. We discuss only subject, and there are many like that in our university also. And there are also other men professors who are very efficient, who are very scientific knowledge. They're not much highlighted, but the forums like this only will bring out their credentials and their knowledge. So I really thank Professor Usha for being here and sharing her knowledge also, and for all her appreciation and guidance for the future scientists. Thank you, Dr. Usha.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
We
Nandini.
wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Continue your research. And she is a member of so many committees, but she didn't want us to read her profile in detail. She just gave 4 lines. Okay, so that apart, yeah, I would like to convey my thanks to all the delegates present here today, and and all the organizers, students, scholars, and so I would tell you that tomorrow is the concluding day. We are going to have a valedictory program at 12 o'clock. So before that, we might have 1 or 2 invited talks. So 10:30, as usual, we will start, and 12 is the valedictory. We will announce all the details. And so today the topic is a very important topic. We went into details about environment and little about the health, because we are every second we are interacting with our environment. Every second we just cannot be away from this environment. We are part of the environment, and a lot of things that we need to do is bring awareness, because as teachers, as researchers, we can't go and clean the roads in the name of waste management. We can't do it, but we can bring awareness. We can educate people, because the waste dumping is another and not managed. Only 50% is managed, rest of it is lying, and all the bioaerosols coming into the air, infecting people. And you see the cities are overcrowded, overpopulation, urban sprawl. There are a lot of issues that we can discuss, but today's theme is health, environment health. So if environment is healthy, we are going to be healthy. So the breathable air should be taken care of. The water that we drink should be taken care of. We can't do that, but you can find research. You can do research and report it. For this, I think the first presenters, Dr. Bahini and her colleague, Rajeshwari. Yeah, I think both of them, I think if they are there, I would give this request to both of you, please promote, write an article to the news channel. Are you there? Madam?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Yes, I
please
am
write
here.
an article very seriously, because you see this today's situation, we have lost the carrying capacity of our country, overpopulated. There's so much uncontrollable. We are every day you are getting one new news about COVID-19. Every day you are getting a new news about the climate change, global warming. So how are we going to see from the 5 decades we are talking about global warming, climate change, and the sea is going to rise by 4 feet in another by another few years. So there's a lot of things, and because of the impact of this climate and what's going to happen to our health, already we are deteriorating. So I want people like you to spread the message via media. And I think you are the right persons. We can only do research in the laboratory. And nobody listens to scientists. Sometimes we have to be very effective. And that effectiveness doesn't come to us because we're all the time concentrating, microscope, analyzing, so many things, So I think you have to take it up, and I want you to write an article today only about your finding, how TV9 is promoting, how the 40% the behavior of people towards the TV news, towards especially environmental degradation. And I'm really happy that so many people are really interested. They're changing their behavior, seeing the articles, seeing the news. So I know you are a very good writer. I have read some articles. So please write it today, your article. Write your article and about the whatever the findings that we have discussed here, and let it reach the people, authorities, and whatever best we can do from the laboratory. I think we will all do it. And definitely you have to be a bridge between this communication from us. I think you can do it. So because the environment, not only outside environment, indoor environment is also a problem now. The paints that we use is having lead, and we're breathing in. The lead goes into the blood, and the children become IQ. IQ is less. Those children who play in Rishabhavati river or the surrounding, who are living houses in this polluted waters, their IQ levels are very low. They can't even go to school and pass their school also, school level. See, these are the things that we need to bring awareness and take it to that level. We might have done, I have done 33 years of research. Usha madam has done 22 years of research. So many I hear, 25 years, 30 years research. But if this is not happening, how to convey this? Waste management, we have done so much research in the dump yards. What is happening around that dump yards? So all these things, I think I place it before one of the speaker, Dr. Bahini, and her colleague. So please take it up seriously, and let all of us, I think all of you agree with me. I think all of you agree with me.
Yes, ma'am.
That it should be published. It should be published.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe some of the scientific findings I will message to Dr. Vahini, and her own findings are excellent. To that, she can add this our note, whatever Dr. Usha pointed out, whatever the audience questions, whatever the answer from the delegates, speakers, we will add to it, and let it be a very big bridge, and let them demand more from us, demand more research. That is the encouragement scientists like us and the budding scientists, youngsters, they need. So I think thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. Let us meet tomorrow, all of us. Tomorrow is a very important day. Let us have a concluding session, and the best presenters for every session will be announced tomorrow. Okay, over to.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Yeah.
giving an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, session. Yeah, thank you, session chairs, Nandini ma'am and Usha madam. Yeah, with this we conclude our day 5 paper presentation with the theme environment and public health. So this is we conclude the paper presentation themes of the conference. I now announce the quiz. So the link will be open at 2 p.m. All of you participate in the quiz, and you can also share it with your friends and colleagues. And tomorrow, the valedictory program will start by 10:30. Like there will be invited talks followed by the valedictory program. All of you please log in by 10:50. And yeah, in sync with today's theme, stay safe and stay healthy. See you tomorrow. Thank you.